field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. 2-1 loss team set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And that's why Dalvin Cook is the Minnesota Vikings featured back. You put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Second in the NFL last year in rushing with 1,557 yards, and that's now back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with 30 combined total touchdowns. What a player is Dalvin Cook.
First down, here's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
And it shouldn't come as any surprise that you say Adam Thielen made a catch, and it was for a first down. He comes off another solid season, over 900 yards receiving, one of the best route runners in the NFL.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. They had 2 straight first downs. Now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. Cousins. They'll roll him out right. And this is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message, hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let them know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory, be aggressive. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Second and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Left side, Cook. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on 4th down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Cook on the toss left. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
We got 3, we got 3, fellas, we got 3. Check 45, check 45.
First carry for James Conner, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2nd and 7.
You. Mike, 45.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
On first down, it's Cook. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Cousins to throw it. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's second and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. Cook with a first down and much more. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 75 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run with Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they come up now, second and goal. Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On play action, it's Murray. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They turn to the fullback, Gillespie. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
3rd and 1, who you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check. Big Ace open. Big Ace open. Crouch. 2-2 what? Whip. Watch the whip. Hey, easy. Quibble. 2-2 what?
Murray a give. This is Connor. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
second and 5 at the 40-yard line.
On the handoff, Connor. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They fake the handoff. Now Murray. He'll buy some time right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
And now Murray's going to set up the throw. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. Now, the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now,
he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's a handoff to Connor. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front. because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
A give, the first man through, Gillespie of the fullback. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. Now Matt Prater for the point after. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they've got just over 50 seconds to go till halftime, so they can try to put something together if they want. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Now Murray off play action. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. And we're going to get a timeout. with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A final shot before half from Murray. Going deep for Hopkins. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter. This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Play fake. Murray sliding out of the pocket. Flush to his right, and he'll be out right at the 35. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Murray giving to Connor on the draw. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Murray. And Murray in trouble here, and down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Play action. Now it's Murray on the move to his left. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, You're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
And now you've got options on second down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
On second down, it's Cook again. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
101 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Shifts by him. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable. With that run.
Again, it's Cook. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Connor. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Rolling to his right. Williams brings it in. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Ricky. Check 99. He's checking.
Now it's Connor. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Cards are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Play action now, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Credit the sack there to Chandler Jones. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Throwing is Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Check 26, check 26. Omaha, 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 Omaha.
To throw, it's Murray. Being chased out left. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Cardinals have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Prater for the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And I think really good defenders can sniff out those screen passes, just something that they can feel, something that they can sense about how the quarterback drops back or how the linemen are just a little slow to block the oncoming rushers. He read it perfectly, got in there, and made the play.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 139 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a short gain down to about the 33.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Throwing, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Zaven Collins there to make the play defensively. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it to football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. The kick by Joseph is good. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 170 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 4 yards out. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Cardinals 20.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings booming away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4, Mike spot 4. Here we go. Check 9, check 9. Hey, switch gears.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, a run with Connor. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
Check, watch 54. Silver. Check three. Shift.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. A gain of 10, 1st down, Arizona.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Here's a handoff to Connor. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
And there's James Conner with a run that gets everyone's attention. He joined the Arizona Cardinals after 4 years in Pittsburgh, and his best year with the Steelers, 2018, named a Pro Bowler after a 973-yard, 13-touchdown campaign. Mixed results the last couple of years as he's been in and out of the lineup, but with consistency, he can still be an effective runner.
And the kick here will be good, but that doesn't do anything besides maybe make the final score a tiny bit more palatable, as that's how this one comes to an end. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for Minnesota,